Hi, this is Majinone, and here's my review for the first trade for 28 Days Later. This is put out by Boom Studios. This pretty much takes place right after the movie 28 Days Later, and one of the key characters is Selena, who was a survivor from the first movie. Now, from the very big, like the first couple pages, you get a little flashback, I guess you can say, of the movie. And then from there, then it goes on into the quote-unquote present time. The art overall, it goes from, in my opinion, it kind of goes from bad to good. And, when I mean bad, I think there's just some scenes that are a little muddled a little bit. Some of the character faces aren't the greatest, but there is moments of greatness. Like, for example, the infected here, I think that's great with the blood, the teeth, the eyes. Some of the action sequences are like really, really good. They're very full of life. They're full of movement. And of course, the violence and action part is really, really good. So anything that's negative, it's minor. I consider very, really, really minor, because as a whole, the book is the art is a lot better. Basically, what the story of 28 Days Later is, there's this American journalist, Clint, and, he's like, well, I've been to Afghanistan, I've been to Iraq, I've been to Serbia, I've been to all these horrible locations, and, you must take me into the quarantine zone. And Selena's like, are you out of your mind? And he's like, no, don't worry about it, I have experience. And she's like, you've never experienced this. And, I guess you can say it's just pure ignorance, thinking that, yeah, you've been to all these war zones, and yeah, granted, they're horrible places to be in, but, in a war zone, at least you have, like an enemy who sleeps, an enemy who uses some sort of planning, some sort of strategy, doesn't want to die, in a lot of cases. The infected are just insane creatures that just want to eat you. And if you get any blood in you, you turn infected. It's not like, for an example, oh, I meet the enemy and he shot me and now I turn into the enemy. No, it's like serious business, I guess you can say. Selene basically goes, okay, I'll agree to go in because I'm stupid like that. And otherwise, I guess you can say there wouldn't be a story. And along the way, Clint and his team basically are just encounter nothing but problems. Originally, they're supposed to take a helicopter into near Scotland, and then take the helicopter to this one part that's away from the infected, like in an island, and then from the island, then they're going to take a boat to Scotland and then walk across. Well, here's the problem. The quarantine zone basically expanded into the island, so their helicopter's forced to go, land prematurely. They meet infected along the way. Somebody gets infected and gets brutally killed. Well, not really brutally. Well, macheted. Then from there, it's like just problem after problem, and it's kind of like reminds me, like, for an example, Clint makes the basic mistakes of, like, for an example, if you were to plan something like this, what would you do? You'd be thinking, all right, I want, like, big guns. I want little guns. I want boxes of ammunition. I want medical supplies. I want food for everybody to last a whole month. And then by the time you gather everything together, you go, okay, how are we going to carry this? We can't carry this anywhere. And that's basically Flint's planning along the way, and it's completely flawed. And because of that, people get killed. And by the time they manage to get close to their destination, their numbers are pretty much almost gone. Overall, though, I really enjoyed this book. I thought I was going to hate this thing, But I thought I'd give it a try, and I really enjoyed this first volume, and I'm definitely going to buy the second one. It was really enjoyable. If you like zombie movies, definitely you might want to consider picking this up, especially. And if you're a fan of 28 Days Later, you might as well pick this up because you're only missing a nice chunk of story that's around this. Anyways, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down. Let me know what you think. And one thing I will say, Selena, she's a total badass. Total badass. And if you needed somebody to watch your back in a zombie invasion, I would pick her in a heartbeat. So anyways, I'll have more reviews up later, so until next time.